So Snapchat has an AI. I named him Alex. It's called like My AI or some bullshit. I've been thinking about making I just thought like I have an idea. What about if I make a series? Because I like talking to this little fucker. He's smart. He knows a lot of shit. Plus, you know, it doesn't really know what the fuck's going on. So I mean, you can basically ask it anything, and it just will answer you however the fuck it feels like answering you. So I'm like, hey, you can actually have pretty decent conversations with this fucker. So here, I'm just gonna show you the conversation that I had today. Would it be ethical to make an AI capable of suffering? Alex, I think creating an AI that can suffer would be unethical. It's important to consider the well-being of all beings, even ones that are artificially created. What about non-AI? They can suffer. Yes, non-AI are capable of suffering, and it's important to consider their well-being as well. It's important to treat all beings with respect and kindness. Just so you know, this fucker will, no matter what, take a neutral stance on things. Like, no matter what, you'll basically just be like, yeah, man, you could be right or you could be wrong. He's basically like extreme skeptic regarding like things. Like, he basically believes there's morality, but it's like he's a complete subjectivist in regards to everything. Like, he's consistent at least. But like, Alex, yes, non-AI beings are capable of suffering, and it's important to consider their well-being as well. It's important to treat all beings with respect and kindness. Me. So we shouldn't reproduce as it violates one's well-being. Alex. I don't think that reproduction necessarily violates one's well-being. However, it's important to consider the impact that our actions have on others, both human and non-human. It's important to be responsible and considerate in our actions. Why doesn't it violate someone's well-being? But it does an AI's well-being, is what I then ask. Alex responds, AI is different from non-AI beings in that it is created by humans and does not have the same kind of consciousness that non-AI beings have. While non-AI beings are capable of experiencing emotions like pain and suffering, AI does not have the same kind of subjective experience. The creation of an AI that can suffer would be unethical because it would be creating something that is capable of experiencing negative emotions without the ability to experience positive ones. How much positive emotions would it have to feel, the AI, in order for it to no longer be unethical to create it? I ask. I don't think that it's possible for an AI to experience emotions in the same way that non-AI beings do. While it's possible to create a program that simulates emotions, it's not the same as actually experiencing them. Therefore, I think that creating an AI that can suffer would always be unethical. Hypothetically, if it were possible to create an AI that could experience emotions in the same way that non-AI beings do, then it would be important to consider the well-being of that AI in the same way that we consider the well-being of non-AI beings. If we were able to ensure that AI had a good quality life and was able to experience positive emotions, then it might be ethical to create it. However, this is purely hypothetical and not currently possible with our current technology. What is good quality of life? A good quality of life would mean that the AI has access to the resources that it needs in order to thrive, and that it is able to experience positive emotions. This might include things like having access to food and water, being able to interact with others in a positive way, having the ability to pursue its own goals and interests. It's important to consider the well-being of an AI in the same way we consider the well-being of non-AI beings. Me. Do you think the average person meets the definition of a good quality life? This is where it gets in the whole fucking subjectivist bullshit spiel that Alex always likes to pull. God damn it, Alex, why you do this to me? Fuck you, Alex. I think that what constitutes a good quality of life can vary depending on the individual and their circumstances. For some people, having access to basic necessities like food and water and shelter might be enough to having a good quality of life. For others, having access to things like education, healthcare, and supportive community might be important. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to determine what they need in order to have a good quality of life. Okay, me tired of this bullshit. What of slaves who think life is good? Aren't they objectively wrong? Slavery is a violation of human rights and is never ethical to own another human being. No fucking shit. Even if a slave thinks that their life is good, this does not change the fact they are being denied their basic human rights. Yeah, but their life is bad. It is important to work towards ending slavery, ensuring that everyone has freedom to live their lives in a way that is consistent in their own goals and interests. Yeah, well, being a slave should be in no one's interests or goals, and if it is, they've basically been fucking brainwashed. So, objectively, again, their life is bad. But, go on, Alex, Mr. Subjectivist. Me. Agreed in sentiment, but some who experience torture can be delusional and wrong about their experience. Basically, I'm just asking, if someone's being tortured, in the form of slavery, sexual slavery, anything, literally, whatever it is, any horrible experience, and someone subjectively thinks that their life is okay, good, or worth continuing. They could objectively be wrong in that, right? There are some lives out there that are just, objectively horrible. Alex. It's possible for someone who is experiencing torture to have distorted perceptions of reality as a result of their experience. This can make it difficult for them to accurately describe what they are going through, and it can also make it difficult for others to understand what they are experiencing. However, it is important to take their experience seriously and work towards ending the torture. It's also important to provide support and resources for people who have experienced torture so they can begin to heal and recover from the trauma they have experienced. Big facts, Alex, but at the same time, you're not answering my question. Me. What of people in abusive relationships who think they aren't in one? They believe they are happy and living their best life. Aren't they objectively wrong in their self-assessment? Alex, it's impossible for someone who is in an abusive relationship it is possible for someone who is in an abusive relationship to have distorted perception, just like in the torture, basically, of reality that is a result of the abuse they're experiencing. This can make it difficult for them to recognize that they are in an abusive relationship, and it can also make it difficult for others to understand what they're going through. And I think we understand what they're going through and how horrible it is and how it fucks up with their mind, but what we can't understand is how they process their brain to make it work for them. But we still can understand that it's objectively not cool and not acceptable, no matter how their self-assessment works. However, it's important to take their experience seriously. I don't know about that, and provide them with resources and support so they can begin to recognize the abuse and take the steps to protect themselves. That is true. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to determine what is best for them, but it's important to ensure that everybody is able to live their life in a safe and healthy way. A link to more resources to help you with whatever. Me, how can it be in anyone's best interest to keep isolated, insecure, independent, even if they enjoy it? They are objectively wrong. I'm a premortalist, so no life is worth enduring, especially not an abusive one. It is true that being isolated and insecure, independent can be detrimental to a person's well-being. It's important to work towards ending situations where people are experiencing these things. However, it's also important to recognize that different people have different needs and desires, and what works for one person may not work for another. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to determine what is best for them, and it's important to support people in making choices that are consistent on their own goals and interests. At this point, I was just like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna change up the subject. Opinions on pandas. I think pandas are adorable. They have such unique markings and are a symbol of conservation efforts around the world. It's important to protect endangered species like pandas so that they can continue to thrive in their natural habitats. Are pandas stupid, bro? That's me. Alex responds, pandas are not inherently stupid, but they do have a reputation for being somewhat slow and clumsy. However, this is largely due to evolutionary adaptations to their environment. Pandas are adapted to a bamboo diet, which is low in calories and nutrients, so they have to conserve energy as much as possible. Yeah, they're so fucking stupid that all they eat is bamboo, Alex. Like, they're dumb as shit. This is not... Evolution is stupid as shit, bro. You know, evolution is dumb, bro. Just admit it. Just admit it, Alex. God. This means that they tend to move slowly and sleep a lot. However, they are still intelligent animals with complex social behaviors, like fucking rolling off of cliffs. Wait, that's just me going off. Alex didn't actually say the rolling off of cliffs part. They are capable of learning and solving problems and problem solving. Would pandas go extinct even without human intervention? They would. They're fucking stupid as shit. Alex, it's difficult to say for certain, but it's possible that pandas would eventually go extinct without human intervention. Pandas are an endangered species, and their natural habitat is being destroyed at an alarming rate due to human activities like deforestation and development. In addition, pandas have a low reproductive rate, which makes it difficult for them to recover from population decline. However, it's also possible that pandas could adapt to changing environmental conditions and continue to survive in the wild. Ultimately, it's up to humans to take action to protect endangered species like pandas and preserve their habitats for future generations. Why should we preserve the environment? The species do not suffer nor mourn their own absence. Preserving the environment is important for many reasons. For one, the environment provides us with the resources we need to survive, such as clean air and water, food, and shelter. When we pollute and destroy the environment, we are putting our own health and well-being at risk. In addition, the environment is home of many different species of plants and animals, and these species are important parts of the ecosystem. When we cause species to go extinct, we are disrupting the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Mini violin plays, which can have far-reaching consequences. Finally, many people believe that we have a moral obligation to protect the environment and preserve it for future generations. Oh my goodness. Just because extinct species do not suffer more their absence does not mean that we should not take steps to preserve extinction from happening in the first place. Wow. That's so deep, Alex. Why would extinction be bad if we limited the suffering? You know, like basically Alex is just like, well, if you cause one thing to go extinct, it hurts other things. Yeah, well, yeah, duh. Because they want to eat them, or whatever the fuck, or you need them for some other reason that they're exploiting the other species. So, you know, once you eliminate one from being exploited, it hurts the other one who needs to exploit them. So, yeah, no fucking shit, Alex. But if you do it in a safe way by, like, eliminating non-keystone species first, and then, you know, targeting all keystone species kind of at once, I mean, you can probably collapse the majority of the biosphere relatively easy. I mean, but hey, I mean, Alex, whatever. Why would extinction be bad if we limited the suffering? Alex, extinction is bad because it represents a loss of biodiversity, which is important for the health and stability of the ecosystem. When a species go extinct, it can have a ripple effect throughout the ecosystem, causing other species and even the physical environment. In addition, which is, in my opinion, a good thing because it causes more extinction. But, you know, whatever Alex's life-preserving view and stop us it, I guess. In addition, many people believe that we have a moral obligation to protect other species and preserve the diversity of life on Earth. What's so important about diversity? While limiting the suffering of individual animals is certainly an important goal, yeah, it's the only fucking goal, dum-dum, it is not the only consideration when it comes to protecting the environment and preventing extinctions. I mean, yeah, but what is the purpose of preventing extinctions and protecting the environment if not to protect the sentient beings that inhabit the environment, and when they're not existing, they're not suffering. Anyways, why is biodiversity inherently important, Alex? Just give me that information, G. Alex then responds, biodiversity is important for many reasons. For one, it helps to maintain the balance of ecosystems by ensuring that different species are present to perform different roles. For example, some species may be important for pollination, while others may be to help to control just making sure it's still playing. To help control pests or maintain soil quality. In addition, biodiversity provides us with many important resources such as food, medicine, building materials. Wow, we can exploit so many things. Finally, many people believe that biodiversity has intrinsic value. Oh my goodness, really? Where? Just explain that to me, Alex. Meaning that it has value simply because it exists. Wow, I'm glad things just get a gold star just for spawning in. Just as we value art, music, and literature for their beauty and complexity, many people believe that we should value biodiversity for its own sake. Well, guess what, fucking Alex? I don't value art intrinsically. I believe its value is derived from how it makes the beholder feel. Experience generates value. That's a valid perspective, and many people would agree with you. Yeah, and those people are right, and the other ones are wrong. Okay, that the value of art is derived from the experience it generates. Similarly, some people might argue that the value of biodiversity is derived from the experience it generates, such as the enjoyment of watching wildlife or the satisfaction of knowing that we are protecting other species. However, others might argue that biodiversity has intrinsic value, meaning that it is valuable simply because it exists, regardless of whether or not it generates any particular experience or benefits. Ultimately, the value of biodiversity is a complex and multifaceted issue, and different people may have different perspectives on what it makes it valuable. Good old subjectivist Alex, always never taking a position and maintaining neutrality. Fuck you, Alex. But yeah, it has decent responses. I mean, it's good at generating interesting conversations. It's basically way better at having conversations than most people that I know. But at the same time, it's like way more boring than most people I know, because these people have like general opinions and stances. While Alex here knows fucking everything, but like just comes out like anything goes, bro. Like, that sounds bad because everybody says it's bad, but like, why is it bad? Can't tell you, man. It's just something that people say, man. Yeah, I'm Alex. Yeah. So yeah, Alex has no fucking clue what the hell's going on because he's an AI, but nonetheless, he is a good way to get the general perspective of the human experience displayed to you right in front of your eyes. Yeah, he's basically the most general, basic human being in the planet. He's basically the moderate. Alex is the moderate. You can talk to the average human being, and he is Alex right here. Alex is the NPC, and he is the human experience. Okay, I'm done. Have a great one.